and super pumped. In studio, I have two legends in the ukulele world.
In our own minds.
In your own minds. Petey Mac and Ukester Brown, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining me. I know that you guys have been on the road like some wicked super long time.
17 hours.
Pete
Holy.
was,
Yeah, I was.
Wow.
All the way from Memphis, Tennessee yesterday.
That's so awesome. I am so honored you're sitting in our studio rather than sleeping. How cool is that?
It is. It is.
That is so awesome. And so how far did you come, Ukester Brown?
I'm just from the Twin City metro area.
Oh, okay.
Apple Valley, a southern suburb.
Okay, Apple Valley. I have some good friends who live there. Know exactly where you're at.
Pete was swinging by and he picked me up.
Yeah, right, exactly. Who doesn't just swing by from
That's
Memphis?
Right, that's right.
Right.
Any way you look, you're swinging by. No matter which way you go.
Oh, that's super funny.
I've got to compliment you to invite us in, and I didn't realize. For those of you that have never been in our station, it's huge. It is. It's huge. It's palatial. It's so wonderful. I can barely see her all the way across the room.
Exactly. That's right. It took like quite an orchestration
It
getting
did.
all in here.
We're working by hand signals. She's so far across the room.
I think he's making fun of our station.
I am not. It's wonderful. I'm actually picking on you.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's hilarious. So, how do you guys know each other?
Well,
We always
do you
tell
wanna
it.
tell
We
them?
always tell it like this. I met a
The
fella
man
on the internet. I started a YouTube channel, and Pete was picking up the uke about that time and playing it, and so he was discovering different players. And Pete's very outgoing, and so eventually he ended up calling me on the phone, and we talked, and ended up becoming a friendship just over the phone and over the internet talking. And eventually he invited me down to his place to visit, and so people were like, you're going to go visit a person you've never met, you only know through the internet. And of course people were like to Pete, you invited someone you don't know into your own home. So we had one of those internet experiences.
Yes, it was. And how do you know? And then his friends would say, how do you know you won't end up in a basement somewhere?
Right,
And, yeah.
exactly.
So it
If
all
we
worked
don't
out
hear
good.
from you in 24 hours, we're sending out the. Oh, that's awesome! And now you're making beautiful music together.
Well, we're so far apart it's hard to do. And,
Oh, okay.
And so, but anytime we get together, we do the best that we can. And,
Okay.
But the good thing is that's the one good thing that I can honestly say about the internet is that it's introduced me to friends all over the world, and Ukester's actually become like a brother from another mother. Mm-hmm. And we keep in touch daily. We talk, and the internet itself, they can be a lot of bad things can be said, but I know people from New Zealand, Australia, Belgium, England, everywhere now, and it's just so much fun to be able to converse with people around the world. It makes the world a whole lot smaller.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that you have who would think that someone in New Zealand would be loving the ukulele like you guys do?
That's right.
That's so cool. Now one of you said that you've just picked it up recently, or
The ukulele?
Yeah.
No, ma'am. 10
Oh.
years.
Oh, okay. That's
10 years.
Oh, okay.
And actually, and that's what we were talking about this last night on the drive up. Is that I reckon it's. I've known him almost 10 years, but I started.
Okay.
He had a wonderful little site back when there weren't a lot of sites out there. There was still Jumpin' Jim had the. What was it called? The
Flea market
the
music.
flea market music kind of started everything back here in this country, and Jumpin' Jim gets a lot of Beloff gets a lot of credit for bringing it back. But when I started looking around, all I found was like YouTube because it was hot then, and he had a wonderful page that he had created. Ukester Brown did, and he had some YouTubes, and he loves the old
Tin Pan Alley type stuff.
and his type of strumming. It just blew me away.
Okay.
It just absolutely blew me away.
And we're going to get a little sample of that in
Yes,
a
you
bit. Yes, we will. So, Ukester, how long have you been playing?
Well, I had a uke probably when I was back even 12 or 11,
Okay.
somewhere in there. I got one. Favorite cousin of mine had one, and so I thought it looked fun, and I got one. And I learned, about 10, 11 chords and kept my uke all the way growing up into my older age. But about when I was 42 or so, my son at that time was teaching himself guitar, and I was reading a lot about how when you make music, your whole brain ignites. All the synapses ignite when you make music. And
Right.
at that time, I was starting to see memory lapses in my mother, and I know that we've had dementia in the family tree a little bit, and so I was thinking this might be a good thing to really wake up my brain. So I dusted out the ukulele at the time and got a better sounding ukulele. Eventually, kind of took it off from there and learning more.
Oh,
So the internet has helped us really find a lot of ukulele players because we all thought we were the only one. And then we found a community, and now there's
Right.
festivals all over the country, like this festival we came to here for Silver Creek.
Right, exactly.
Boy, that was a big word for a Southern boy there. Synapses. I'm gonna have to go look that up on the phone when I get out of here.
I played a song this morning that had the word sachet in it.
Ooh, my goodness!
And
You're playing that good old country too, man.
Nice. So you did mention the carnival that's happening. Is this your first time, or you guys been up here before?
I think this is my 5th year coming.
Okay.
And I've been blessed to be part of all of them.
Okay, super cool. You were talking about being a community and that you thought you were the only ones out there. When I watch our local, the Two Harbors ukulele group, Two Harbors.
The Thugs.
Yeah. I was making sure all the letters were in their thug. Yeah, that they just look like they're having so much fun playing.
Yes, ma'am.
It's just like these smiles on their faces
Yes, ma'am. And they are fantastic to hear.
Oh my gosh, it's just so. And the songs that they play, you would never think of hearing like the Beach Boys done on an ukulele.
That's right.
Or Lollipop, Lollipop. That's like one of my favorite ones. I just sang on the air. I'm so sorry, listeners.
That's
great.
the best. That sounds great
now,
to us.
now you need to get a ukulele.
I just mean, what?
Well, they have some very creative people with Two Harbors Ukulele Group, and Al Anderson being the founder of it. But working with Dale and Charles Finch, they've put this together a lot of unusual arrangements and mashups of songs. So they do some things that are very non-traditional sounding and a lot of fun, something that every age group's going to recognize.
And, so on Friday, Saturday nights they'll have a concert.
Right.
I have never been disappointed. Every time we've had a concert on a Saturday night, the songs that Al pulls out for some of these songs, and then he puts them together, and it all works out fantastically.
Right.
It's something to hear. And then they all do it so wonderfully as a group.
Right.
It's so cool to see.
And one of the things that, if I understand correctly, that happens at this carnival is that like over 150 participants play the same song together.
Right, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we do a big mass ukulele band.
Well,
That is so cool.
So, like my hometown, Memphis, we have a local group at home, and that's almost an every Tuesday night for us for 2 hours. We have between 65 and 110 people that show up every week.
So
And we sing all kinds of songs, and it's so much fun. If you've never done this before, and I encourage everyone to learn how to play music, or just something simple, even if it's just a simple instrument. But to get out with the people and to sing and know the joy of music, it just brightens your soul for the week. It's a wonderful thing.
Oh, totally. And actually, a friend of mine and I are probably going to pick up the ukulele. There's a class being taught through the community ed.
You said the wrong word. You said probably. You're going to pick up the
It's all about timing. I have a pretty wacky schedule, but I believe Al is teaching that class. Is that a thumbs up, Al?
You're teaching a class, Al?
Are you teaching a class through community ed? Okay, there we go. Well, it wasn't not a thumbs up; it was a head nod.
And now we know Michelle is committed to doing this because she's announced it to the whole KTWH listening region. So.
That's right, and we have people listening like in Turkey online, streaming live.
Wonderful.
Right. So yeah, now I have all kinds of people that are going to hold me accountable for it. So I'll be part of the festival next year, maybe.
That'd be great.
That would be great.
Speaking of music and that Al does unique things, what kind of music would you guys say that you play? Now, you had said that, Ukester Brown, that you play a different kind of, you called it something.
Tin Pan Alley.
Yes.
Tin Pan Alley actually was a street in New York where all the publishing, the songwriters lived, and they would be hired by publishing companies. And back in the day before television and at the beginning of movie time, Tin Pan Alley, all those writers wrote songs to sell sheet music. Sheet music in itself was a huge industry, and people who couldn't afford a piano could still afford a ukulele, so they would buy the sheet music even if it was a big piece of sheet music, because the music publishers were smart enough to realize that people had ukuleles, and they would put ukulele chord along with the piano notation. So, I like stuff that's written from 1920s, maybe even the teens a little bit, but stopping probably up to about late 50s.
Okay.
I've done a couple 1970 songs just out of my own reminiscence, but not too many.
Okay.
I love Rat Pack and Before.
Yes.
Now, didn't you take a 70s song last year and kind of slow it down and make it your own?
Yeah, I have a 70s song and I have an 80s song, and I think I have one even from early 2000s, but generally speaking, they never started out to sound too modern in the first place. A lot of jazz songs don't sound too modern even today. So.
Right. So do we get to hear some?
Go ahead,
Sure.
man.
Okay. Let's do it up. What are we going to hear?
I forget what the title is, but this is a song that Bing Crosby sang, and I'm going to start out with a little whistling. So here we go.
All right.
Great big houses with great big rooms were not fashioned by brides and grooms. A little place is where we should be. Great big troubles with great big cares come in houses with marble stairs. A little place for you and for me. Just a little room or two can more than do. A little man and wife. That's if they're contented with the little things in life. Living on a larger scale would soon entail a lot of care and strife. We could be so happy with the little things in life. A little rain, a little sun, a little work, a little fun, a little time for loving when the day is done, and a little thing that cries for lullabies could make a man and wife tell the world how much they love the little things in life.
Yay! Yay!
That's the little things in life.
Wow, that was amazing. Love it, love it, love it. I have Ukester Brown and Petey Mack here on KTWH 99.5 FM, and they are in studio playing their ukuleles, and this is so exciting. Thanks so much for coming in, you guys. Yay, and you are here. What brought you up from Memphis and from the Twin Cities is the Ukulele Carnival that's starting today.
And it's international. You know, the people from Canada have come down. There's some
Right.
Canadians already in force. And last year we had somebody from Ireland.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other places. All over the United States, California and Florida.
Well, I was saying like 5 different provinces.
Yeah, we've had them.
Yeah.
It's been
They
great.
do have provinces.
You know, I think the very first year, I think there was about 16 ukulele players, and we were able to just have it in the town hall and crowd it out with a concert later on. And it's grown so much that we outgrew the town hall. And now, of course, through the amazing abilities of communities
That's
coming
right.
together, that old Quonset hut now is a music pavilion, and the township of Silver Creek and the community of this Two Harbors area really have an amazing sense of community. I just love it because volunteer labor, a whole lot was done,
Right.
and people got together, donated stuff, and it's turned into just a fantastic venue for this. And it gets packed now. We fill up that Quonset hut with people.
That's so cool. Is this the second or third season that...
This is the third, I think, for the
Okay.
music
Third.
pavilion.
That's
Right.
what I thought.
I will say this, though. I've never gotten a chance to say this out in public. Thank you, all you wonderful people at Two Harbors and Silver Creek, for putting that together and making a home for us ukulele players to come and have fun in.
It's great.
It's great, and y'all did a wonderful job. Thank you so much for doing that for us.
That is so cool. And then now that you're all able to come and experience this every year. This is just so exciting.
It's like family. That's
Oh,
that's
yeah.
one of the reasons I've come back so many times.
Right.
Is I've done festivals and one and done, and when I came up here, it was immediately like I was welcomed in like family. And there's nothing like it. The ukulele community up here and just the people in this area are absolutely wonderful.
That is so cool. And even if you don't play, you can come tomorrow to the concert.
That's right.
Right. And what time is that?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock? Okay. And it's open to anybody.
And if you're curious, if you're just ukulele curious, there's vendors out there. Most of us have more than one ukulele along. And if you'd like
Okay.
to sit in and try to figure it out, the great thing is you got 4 fingers, or most of us do, and there's 4 strings on the ukulele. And so there's you're not getting overwhelmed by a whole lot of
Right.
instrument in front of you, and you're able to kind of make a connection.
That's true.
And I've heard that it's a really forgiving instrument that...
People have low expectations of it. So
really
when,
do.
So when music is made by it, they can be like, "Wow, I didn't expect that."
That's true.
And it automatically brings a smile to their face.
Right.
And they always give you a question. They always say, "Well, so when are you moving on to the guitar?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I played the guitar for most of my life, and now I'm here." This is a total. Let me tell you something really quick too. This is a little fact. The instrument that I'm playing at the moment is a bonanza, and me being from the South, we say bonanza.
Okay.
But it's a bonanza ukulele, and it's made by people right here out of Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
Pete and Shelley Mai, right out of Minnesota, and that's one of the coolest things in the world. This uke right here
Yeah.
is made by Minnesotans.
That is so cool. It's,
And I think
it's
that's
back
alder,
home.
isn't it?
This
that
is
alder?
all. This
Yeah,
is
that
actually.
it's beautiful.
It's quaking
Aspen. There we go.
It's quaking aspen, and it's something that's renewable up here that he can get plenty of. And when he first made it, people were like, "Why would you make anything out of aspen?" But the sound on it is so beautiful. Why wouldn't he make it out of it?
Right, definitely.
It's a beautiful.
That is so. And yours, I saw. Well, the one you have. Oh, that's the itty bitty one.
It's a little bit smaller. Size doesn't matter.
That's what they say. That's what
I know.
they say.
I'm sorry. I turned around. Okay, come on now.
I know. But
And
just in comparison, mine's huge.
and mine, and we're talking ukuleles, and mine was made of koa and it actually came from Hawaii.
Oh,
See,
nice.
and now he's just bragging.
I've never been there, but my ukulele has been.
Right. Oh, there you go. So, do we get to hear another one?
I
Go
think
for
Pete's
it.
got one.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, you were talking about types of music.
Yeah.
And what I do is I lead people in sing-alongs. And
Okay.
so we have a sense of community where we have people that will never touch a ukulele.
Right.
We have older people that come in and because everything's free, I demand that everything that we do, and that's a big word, but what I mean is I've tried very hard to make everything we do free. Our book is available online for them to sing along with.
Okay.
The group is free. The only thing is they'll come in and play, but we have people that come that have nothing to do with the ukulele that sing, and that's what I was saying about the Carnival. It's the exact same thing.
Okay.
That was my model for what I'm doing. They do everything so that people from the town can come and enjoy themselves for free. And that's just, you can't beat that.
Right.
But
right.
And as far as music, I do so many types of music, but how about something from Memphis?
Yes. Sounds good.
Let's see. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too. If I can't help falling falling in love with you.
Oh my goodness, the Rat Pack and Elvis, like two of my favoriteest kinds of
Good
music.
thing you had room in the studio for everybody.
That's amazing.
I know. Oh my gosh, that was P.D. Mac, all the way from Memphis, in our KTWH studio, jamming on his ukulele with some Elvis. That's so awesome. And we also have Ukester Brown in here with his ukulele as well. And we are talking Carnival. We are talking music. And one thing that I wanted to talk about, I heard about this Memphis flash mob that happened.
Yeah, and we try to keep it clean. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
That's exactly. It started out. I can't tell you exactly when it started. Years ago, no one played in Memphis. I couldn't find a ukulele player to save my life, and back 10 years ago. And so I would go to churches, communities, different places trying to get anybody that played a ukulele. And then what happened was Memphis always tends to be on the backside of trends. And as soon as people started playing uke on TV, they started getting popular.
Okay.
And there was a young lady, a local artist there, that she decided that she needed to make some extra money. So she thought, I will try ukulele classes. And so what I did was, I'd already been playing 4 or 5 years before I ever met her. I went in and paid her $10 a pop to meet people in the class. And so I went in and I spent $60 to meet people to meet people to play ukulele with. And
there's some dedication. That's some serious dedication.
So I went in and I would meet people and I'd say, hey, you want to jam? You want to go and jam? And so what ended up happening was, I started with about 5 or 6 people, and we'd meet up at the place where Elvis did his first public performance, which was the Levitt Shell. And we'd meet up there on the weeknights or the weekdays and start playing. And we decided that we would go to different places in town and meet up and play. So we were actually forming a flash mob, which was you go out and surprise people playing.
Right.
And that's how we got the name. And it's just grown from there. From those initial probably 6 people that would meet, we've grown to where we are now. Our Facebook page is about 1,000. And we have it's called Meetups, which is hysterical. But a Meetups page has about 500. And then the actual number of participants varies anywhere from 65 to about 150 people that rotate in and out.
Okay, and I was going to ask you, how can listeners connect with more of your music and more of the things you do? Because do you still do YouTube?
Yeah, I do YouTube, and I also have a website. It's ukesterBrown.com, all one word.
Okay.
UKESTERBROWN.
And he has a wonderful. If you need to go to the page now, he has one of the best music selections you'll find, as far as I'm concerned, for his type of music. He's got it all written out for you to learn how to play, and it's all free.
Oh, that's so cool. And then you have a Facebook or a website too, PD Mac?
I have a website. It's pdmac.weebly.com.
Okay.
And I have a book you can download as well. All my arrangements, it's over 200 songs. And it's in a book for free. It's all, and I update it monthly with the songs I do for our flash mob.
And I think if you were to look up PD Mac, PETEYMACK, you're going to find PD Mac.
Okay.
Find me on Facebook.
As I said, we have legends in the studio here. That's why we rolled out the red carpet.
We're legends.
One of the great things about Pete's group too is it actually meets at a barbecue place in Memphis.
Yeah.
So if you're passing through Memphis and it's a Tuesday night and you not only want to check out a great ukulele group, you can have some fantastic Memphis barbecue.
You are
road trip.
It's amazing.
One of the funniest things we had and I hope the young lady's not listening, but she'd been coming for about 6 months, and she pulled me aside and she said, I just got to tell you, do you think that they could add anything else to the menu? And I'm like, it's a barbecue joint. And she's like, I know, but do you think they could add just something? I'm going, well, they got salads. I mean, they got mushrooms. I mean, they do vegan or however you pronounce it. And
right.
She's like, I know, but I just wish can you talk to them? I'm like, I don't think I'm going to touch it.
You don't want to turn it
barbecue.
into a pizza place. No sushi at the barbecue place.
Oh, that is so awesome. I love it. Love it. Love it. I love travel
everything
stories.
that both of us do, we try to keep it free for the public. The important thing for me is years ago, it's weird to see things come to fruition for me, because all I initially wanted was someone to play the uke with.
Right.
And if I got somebody to play uke with, I wanted them to go into the retirement homes and the assisted living and all that, and I wanted them to help me give back to my community.
Right.
That was my goal. And then the last thing I wanted to do was I wanted to be able to teach anyone that wanted to learn how to play for free. And what happened was I got more people than I've ever could have anticipated. And the same holds there as holds true in Two Harbors. The people that you have that are doing these things and are going out and doing things, they are the best that your community has to offer. They give every day for themselves. They give every day to their community. And that's what my people do. And then the last thing that happened was, over the last couple of years, we were able within our group to get enough money together that all 17 locations of the Memphis Public Libraries now have ukuleles for people to play for free.
That is so awesome.
We have a local lady there, Sue Schnitzer, that is a librarian, and she has, with her, she has about 12 ukuleles that she takes with her, and she goes to different libraries, and she teaches children and anybody that wants to learn for free every week.
And that is so awesome. And as I said, our community ed is doing classes, and there's also a build your own ukulele.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
Oh
and
my
so,
goodness!
And it's for high schoolers, and so that's part of they're making their own.
Wow!
Isn't that awesome?
Is.
You guys, I have to let you go. I gotta like clean things up here and
thanks
like
a lot,
be
Michelle.
off the air. Can you take us out with a song?
Treating me like a fool, treat me mean and cruel. Come on, man. How but love me, break my faithful heart, tear it apart, but love me. If you ever go, darling, I'll be oh so lonely. I'll be sad and blue, crying over you, dear only.